Yeah.
So, very nice to meet you. Thank you for this interview. I received the information about your collaboration with Thanks, right? And one of the things I would like to ask you is how this thing started for you.
Yeah, it started when it started a while ago. About 10 years ago, I collaborated with an artist to make a 3D printed armor. It was very early, and I didn't quite understand how it was manufactured, but I did a wonderful photo shoot, and I was exposed to how incredible 3D printing could be. But I never had the chance or time to get into it then. Cut to now, I have been seeing so many wonderful 3D printed items at conventions, and I always ask, where did you get that? And when I learned that they printed it, I became very interested in maybe doing something in the space myself. But I was a little lazy because I have a daughter and I am very busy. But when she started bringing 3D printed things back from her school with such enthusiasm and love, I said, we have to get into this. Again, I didn't jump on it, but I was about to buy a printer when I ran into Paul, who is the CEO of things.com, which is a website where you can search models, prints, and also support artists and designers. And when we were speaking, I was grilling him on the kind of things that I should purchase. And the next week, he provided me with a printer and said, here is a starter for you. And let's work together to create items that you would love to have yourself and offer them to the world. And that's how this started.
Thank you. Uh, as you say, 3D printers are nowadays very more affordable. In the
Mm-hmm.
past, there was some mystic things you can print 3D things. How do you think on things like LARP or RPGs can help this kind of diffusion?
I think there are amazing opportunities for people who are creative to become a part of this world, whether designing themselves or supporting artists. I think it's a beautiful way to have a one on one conversation and communication with your own hobbies, but also artists who work in the space. That's what attracts me to it. If you look at my Felicia Day 3D page, I am very much celebrating the designers I work with to develop these items. I'm also curating designers from across the web and collaborating, hopefully, in the future with artists who are not in the 3D printing world for us to make objects together to offer to people in a new way. So for me, this is all about creativity and collaboration, and 3D printing is something that is putting the ability to create in people's homes in a beautiful way.
Thank you. Uh, a personal question. What is the thing you have printed so far, the one you are most proud of?
I'm very proud of printing my own spider, which was very exciting. I designed this with Mimetics 3D, and it's a very cool technique where the joints will lock and not be totally floppy. That is one of our things in our collection. But the thing I'm most proud of is printing my daughter's favorite Pokemon character. She adores Whooper, and it's a tiny little axolotl type character. And I got the right filament. Her favorite color is purple. And I surprised her with it. And she was so delighted that it made my heart burst with pride. I'm also, I will say, the most proud I am with my printer right now is fixing it when it messed up. I had a filament jam and I was very intimidated because 3D printing is not completely easy now. My bamboo is very easy, almost plug and play, but not quite there. And the reason I hadn't got involved in 3D printing before is that it is kind of there is a bar to entry. It's a little bit complicated, especially from a technical aspect. And the bamboo printer makes it easy, but I did have a clog and I was very proud of myself. I went to YouTube, I watched an hour full of tutorials, I got my wrenches out, I cleaned out all of the AMS tubing, and I fixed it just like that. And I think that's one of the things that is very attractive to me about 3D printing. I was a mathematician in college, but I was also a violinist. So I've always mixed creativity and technology together in my work, from college to modern, my work in web video to now. And so 3D printing really appeals to both sides. You can tinker and be more of an engineer and deal with the problems in a way that, challenges you. And you could also just use it as an artistic medium. Those are both things that you could do. And I love that.
Thank you. How do you think 3D printing can change the world of collectibles, collector's edition, like from gaming to statues? Because just one little thing. For example, Baldur's Gate 3. Right now, there isn't any kind of products that you can buy and you can put on a shelf. But there are some very nicely done STL. You can build your perfect statue. So, how do you think that this can change this kind of things?
I think that once the technology of 3D printing is even wider, which is required, the requirement there is that it's easier and lower price point, right? Whenever technology becomes easy to use and cheap enough for people to buy, that's when everybody gets it. And I believe in the next couple of years, that is what will happen with 3D printing. And I think what's wonderful is that, you can support artists directly and get a lot of interpretations of your favorite characters, but also original IP. I do not offer any licensed products except for things that I own, which is the Guild, because it's a legal IP.
Yeah, I know.
You could do fan art and offer it for free, but once you charge, you are copyright infringing. So I'm very careful about that. Certainly, if you want anything out there, people are offering it. And I think it's wonderful. And this is the kind of movement that consumers start to support that makes bigger companies notice. And I think that's where we are now. I would, of course, Asterion, everyone wants a bust of Asterion in their house. I love Neil. Neil is one of the nicest people. I see him at conventions all the time, and he is just one of the most lovely people. When I first met him, I was fangirling about him, but he was like, "Oh, Felicia Day." He loves the Guild so much. So it's very exciting to have that connection together. But yes, I think that, I'm sure in the next year or so, there will be plenty of professional companies offering tons of Baldur's Gate 3, but with this new technology, fans can be ahead of the curve and offer their own to the world. And I think that's wonderful.
About your profile on Thanks, you are talked about collaboration. Do you have anyone you can spoil to us?
I cannot talk about some of our future collaborations, but I will say that I have been actively reaching out to artists who are not in the 3D printing world, jewelers and other people. And I really hope that they are able to come and create an object with us to offer. I have 3 designers I'm actively working with now, and we have a couple planned in the future to add. And as you will see on the page, every designer is very prominently attributed. They have credit, and they also have credit on the bottom of all of our objects. It's very important to me because I am not the one in Blender or ZBrush. I am giving very hands-on feedback. One of the first objects I really wanted to do was a horoscope D20 necklace. And we are offering all of the signs in this beautiful way. And during our initial conversation with Kaizen 3D, who is the designer on this project, I gave tons of pictures, sent them over, and we worked together to collaborate and make sure that it was easy to make, but also beautiful. And so we will be offering all of them. So there are certain things that I collaborate very hands-on with, and I want to make sure, just like the Guild Minis, I don't know if I can get this to,
okay.
Yeah. Just like on the Guild Minis, all the artists have their initials on there with me. And then there are a lot of there are other objects that I am just actively searching. Oh, I love that. I would love for that person to put that as part of our collection. And some of them we offer for free, and some of them we offer as part of the subscription. So for me, it's all about being creative, offering curation, so that if you like one of the designs of the designers, you may find their other work and support them in their place. And also giving people an entry point into something that they may not know they enjoy.
Understood. Thank you very much for your time. I will print the STL I will receive. I have, as I was saying to Jeremy, I have a liquid resin one.
Oh,
So
great.
I
So
will
you'll
try.
see. Yeah, these are resin. I don't have a resin printer because I don't have room for it, but this was made in resin and it's very beautiful. As you can see, they paint up so beautifully. Yeah, they're very, very beautiful. Of course, I did not paint these. I am excited to get into mini painting, and I believe that it will be a very bad situation when I show my codex. But everyone must start somewhere, and you can never be ashamed of not knowing what you don't know, right? And so I'm excited for you to do. I think the most complicated object is the one that I'm most proud of, but it was my idea to print on fabric to make a necklace, sort of invisible necklace. And this is something that was very beautiful for Mother's Day. I've worn it out and people have stopped me and asked me where I have gotten it. And it's printed on tulle, so you have to do a couple of extra steps to print on fabric, as you probably know. But at the end of the day, it's beautiful and you can pick the colors and you can pick, you can move it around. I do like that. Just because you have the file, you don't have to print just the file, as you know. You can make it bigger. Yeah, I love that about it. So anyway, yes, I hope you print them up and you enjoy them.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Jeremy.